Old Love. Uh, Possibly the most passionate performance of Eric's career. Either Eric's vocal or Eric's two guitar solos will just break you down. The way that his band plays with him, they're all one. And this is why they're the best band in the world. Because they all understood what this song is about. And they all channeled that into their performance. This is how you play with other musicians. This is how you play a song. And if you hear the original studio version, there's not a lot of dynamic. There's not a lot of the ups and downs in volume. But this version breathes. It's an animal when it needs to be, and it can be completely quiet and delicate on the other hand. Clapton's voice is amazing, and you could see the pain in his eyes, and the reverb on the snare drum is breathtaking. It's like heart stopping. The sound mix and the performance, I don't know how they did this. It's otherworldly. I just want to skip to the guitar solo because the first note of that guitar solo is, it's like 10 plus seconds of Eric doing this bend. And I'm not going to play it because without the other instruments, it's not the same. And without the context before it, it's not the same. Eric does this like 10-second bend, and Steve Ferrone, the drummer, does this incredible drum fill across the toms on his kit. And then the band just launches into the chord progression. And Eric just tells a story unlike anyone else. Steve Ferrone does a drum fill that takes them into and it's orchestral. Eric's playing all the way at the top of the neck, and it's just climactic. It's heroic. He's battling something, and we're watching it happen. This song feels like a journey, which could tie into Journeyman, of which this song came from. And he wrote the song with Robert Cray, and I wonder if they even performed it at these shows because he was at those blues shows. So I wonder if there's video of them doing that. There could be. But yeah, he wrote the song with Robert Cray, and the studio version is again missing a couple of the dynamics that this version has. After Eric's first solo, they kind of back the energy down, and they give Greg Philliganes either a marimba or vibraphone solo. I'm not sure I know the tonal difference between the two, but he's sampling the sound on his keyboard, and it's really, really elegant, and again brings you back to the feeling of being in a club. Very intimate. And then Nathan East gets an amazing bass solo, which is again orchestral and Baroque, I would say. And that leads back into Eric playing another solo where he kind of comes back in very loud, and then he backs down the energy and eventually builds it up in the same way that he would do so for a song like I Shot the Sheriff, where he'll make a loud statement and then he'll make a bunch of quiet statements and work his way up to a climax, which is exactly what he does here. And at one point, he does a couple of runs on guitar that just tear at you. They just tear at the listener. And the use of reverb and the use of the room microphones by Alex Haas is genius. This is what a mix should do. A mix should make you feel. And they nailed it. It's a perfect performance. It's a perfect mix. 1,000 out of 10. Brad?
Well, I don't know how I can sort of elaborate any more on that song than you just did, but yeah, I do feel that Clapton was channeling the past. You can feel the pain. You can feel in every essence of this song, vocally, guitar-wise, the solos are just, to me, it's just him playing from the heart. You can feel that in every note he's playing. The delicacy, like the delicate notes he plays, the intensity when he goes, and it's like he's telling someone, guitar wise, the journey of a thing like an old flame or something like that. That's starts off, he's talking about it in a soft spoken voice, and he escalates it and then pulls it back again, like he's emotional about it and pulls it back. It's what makes a blues guitarist, in my opinion. If you listen to this, you're feeling the pain and expression in the guitar playing. His vocally, I can feel that as well. His delivery of the vocal, you can hear that he's channeling that, And as musicians, it's a great way to get those feelings out, like a cleansing, because you can actually get those feelings and emotions out. And really, it's a an amazing thing, an ability to be able to do as a musician, to be able to sit back and listen to something like this. It's like a timestamp. You can timestamp it. There's a moment of pain, suffering, whatever it may be. You can sit back and listen to it. It's like a cathartic experience. It's good to be able to like bookend that moment. But while he's performing that, he's feeling that.
Exactly.
So I have to give it, like, my score is like 20 out of 10, but I'll give it 1,000 out of 10. I'll give it a Michael score. And it's an amazing performance. I would way prefer to listen to this performance of it than the recorded version. I just feel more in this. There's more expression. The bass solo from Nathan East is phenomenal as well. I wanted to highlight that because he is an amazing bass player. There's so much. It's like Nathan East is actually channeling the same thing when he's playing. But the solo from Clapton, where he holds that note, it's just like heart wrenching. You can sit there and listen to that over and over and over. It's a beautiful version of the song. Yeah, I'll hand it over to Andrew. I could talk about it forever too. So.
Oh, guys, I appreciate the depth and the sincerity and the honesty in your presentations and your discussions, because we don't have a lot of Clapton fans that we hang out with, during the day to sort of, share these thoughts and opinions. And, we've got some cats in the chat hanging out with us too. 10 people in here all digging it. We've got Mark Tanner saying it's a masterpiece. So, the 4 songs on this segment are one of the best stretch of 4 songs recorded and filmed. We're starting off with Pretending, and then we've got Bad Love, and then we've got Old Love, and then we're going to come down, to the next song. So it's just in itself telling a story. If the previous song didn't change much from the album, and both you guys have mentioned it, this song obliterates anything on here, and that's pretty good too. It's nuclear bombed. It's just, yeah. Look, I'm just a fanboy, guys. I'm just so excited when I hear this song. I like the fact that Michael mentioned it, that he can back off and he can come back on and, have that ability to tell a story. Brad said it too, in his vocals, his performance. Not a performance, because it's more than that. A performance could connotate some kind of acting, maybe. There's no acting here. This is, as Michael said, it's a band at its peak. phenomenal performance. And I'm going to echo what the guys have said. It's 1,000 out of 1,000.